main challenge is it's a once-off, so you don't get a chance to redo it. But it's a totally crazy sport.
As humans, it's in our nature to test boundaries, pushing ourselves beyond the limits. And when we combine the human spirit with the power of the human mind, our bodies go far beyond its limitations. Once in a while, a sport is created to cater for those that seek to find their limits, to explore the edge of mental and physical endurance, as well as cooperative dynamics in some of the most desolate environments on Earth. That sport is adventure racing, a grueling and exhilarating multi-day endurance event that challenges teams of 4 to navigate through rugged terrain using a variety of outdoor disciplines such as trekking, mountain biking, kayaking, and more. With unpredictable weather conditions, wild animals, and extreme physical demands, the sport requires participants to demonstrate exceptional teamwork, mental fortitude, and strategic planning to reach the finish line. For the first time in the history of adventure racing, the World Championship took place on African soil. The municipal district of Kouga and the Sarah Baartman district in the Eastern Cape of South Africa was the host of the Adventure Racing World Championship 2023, with Cape St. Francis Resort being the host venue for 108 teams from across the world. With its incredible diverse landscape, vibrant culture, and diverse outdoor activities, the Eastern Cape, known as the Adventure Province, promised the athletes an experience they wouldn't forget.
We welcome you to the Sarah Baartman District Municipality. Our tourism brand is called the 7 Wonders of Sarah Baartman.
This is our stage to show off the glory and the beauty of this beautiful municipality of ours, and in its entirety, the glory that is South Africa.
We stand here on the threshold of an incredible journey that stretches from our stunning coastline to the rugged landscapes of the Karoo, ensuring that you'll get to see all the 7 wonders. As we hold the world's greatest adventurers and their teams, we are not only opening our doors but also our hearts to each and every one of you present here, forging connections that will transcend borders, from the sea to the Karoo. We invite you to immerse yourself in the grandeur of our unique landscape and embrace the spirit of adventure. To all the participants present, may your journey through Sarah Baartman District Municipality be filled with wonder, camaraderie, and unforgettable moments. As we are gathered here for our flag parade, celebrating unity and diversity, together we will make history in this Adventure Racing World Championship. Let us move forward. Thank you, and let the adventure begin.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to EA World Champs. This is Team Warriors in the house. Stay tuned for more. It's going to be a good one.
We are the Swedish Armed Forces. Obviously, we are from Sweden.
We are Team Brazil Motorsport, coming from Brazil.
Team Dingle, number 88 from Ireland.
We are from Belgium, and we are Team Belgium, so that's easy.
We are Team Tinola Adventure Racers. We're from Gauteng, and we're here representing SA.
We are Team Andes from Ecuador, UK and Chile.
We are Team Estonian Ace La Sportiva, and we are from a tiny European country of Estonia. It's 1.2 or 3 million people, and it's just 300 kilometers from one border to another and 300 meters of height. the highest point. So, and we have been adventure racing all our lives, basically, you know.
It's our second expedition in Africa.
Yeah.
We went here in 2019 as well, in Rodrigue. And well, besides racing, it's important we race directors ourselves in the European series where we organize very lowlands.
We all work in the army or our soldiers, so they are not only our sponsor, it's also our employer. So we're really proud to be here and representing Sweden and also the Swedish Army, and hopefully we're going to be making those people proud at home.
Everybody's gone, yeah, these young bucks that are probably got no idea, and there's been a couple of cases where it has bitten us a wee bit, that we're just inexperienced and stuff like that, but yeah, it has been breaking the mould a little bit, but I guess our motto is a wee bit disrupting the AR community, so I think that's part of the attraction of it to us. It was uncharted territory, us doing that first God Zone as young kids, so nobody knew how we would handle it, and that's part of the challenge and part of the attraction of it to us.
There's no sport where you bond in a way of adventure racing, where you go through the ups and downs. It's a sport where you really get a deep connection within a team, and the celebration of reaching the finish line as a team, which is a purpose by itself, a target by itself. There's no sport like it.
It's kind of hard to explain like the sport every single time somebody asks what I'm doing. So I just say I'm like doing some bike race or something, but yeah, it's not really big over where we are.
Yeah, he'll go out and do a 100-mile mountain bike ride, and nobody does that on a mountain bike. They'll do it maybe on a road bike here or there, but he's been doing that for a while, and yeah, nobody understands that.
New Zealand's actually got out of all the countries in the world, New Zealand's one of those countries where people know what adventure racing is. So you walk down the street and you say, you know, we're doing God Zone or something like that, and people actually know what you mean. It's not like some places you go, even here, they don't really know, quite understand what it is. So the young people have been brought up in that as well, and they have quite a good idea what's going on. So sometimes the bigger races in New Zealand, the school kids will be involved, the teachers will be watching it on the projectors at school and that sort of thing, and backing the teams they know as well.
Oh, it's just emotions. Everybody's here, we're going to start. I can just pray now that everything will continue going well. It looks so beautiful. This is how I imagine it. I am the luckiest, most blessed person ever. For everybody is helping me, with me. I'm not alone. I can't do it alone. Thank you, everybody.
We got a CP1 as a 900 of about 40-50 meter climb. So it's good for our footage, but I don't think the athletes will appreciate it too much.
We are going to enjoy every moment because it's not going to last.
It's a country that not many teams has visited before, so and none of the teams are very familiar with. So I think this makes even more open competition.
The environment here is not like we're used to. One of the difficulties is definitely the heat. So the forecast looks quite good for us now. Perhaps some rain in the later on during the race, but during those really long trekking sections, it's going to be really hot. I think we're going to struggle a lot, but we have that in mind and try to save some energy there.
I reckon a high would probably be those sand dunes on the first trek leg.
Yeah, I agree.
That was unreal, dropping into that.
The first trekking next to the sea was really fun.
едем мы по 335.
For this year is a little bit like a dream team for me. It's the first time that we are able to have two navigators in the absolutely world-class level. So this is something I've been aiming for like many years, and finally we're here. So we are a really structured team.
We have orienteering sports background, so we feel quite comfortable with the map and compass, everybody, and we have been several times regaining world champions, so this helps.
My lamp is not working with the light. The headlight or the door to the front.
Tougher. We haven't slept yet. We went through the night. We chose to rather suffer in the cool and try and get out of the heat on the bike. So, but now we've got heat on the hike. So, miss the one, get the other.
Tough day in the office for sure. 40 degrees, out on the road, like no escaping it. We pushed hard through the night, so no big sleeps, which maybe cost us. Riding a bit sleepy, super slow going. We had just actually taken a sleep, woken up, pushed hard. So it's been a tough day for us. We lost maybe 4 hours on other teams that started 4 hours behind us. But it's 5 days of this, or 6 days. So we do what we can today, which is regroup and get ourselves in the best possible condition to take on the next thing. You know, the goal always was to try and make the paddle cutoff, which we had to be in here maybe at 9 a.m. this morning. And we've arrived here at 1 o'clock. So missed that by 4 hours, which means there's very little chance that we can do the trek and then do a full paddle and get off the water before the dark zone tomorrow. So that was a goal. Either you go for it or you don't. Some people are capable of doing it and some people it's borderline. For us, maybe it was borderline and we gave it a full go. And I guess we paid the consequences, but now it's plan B and there's still a lot of racing to do.
Maybe Captain Yoki is not good, strong to heat, and maybe he overheated and can't go faster. And just before the transition area, so he escaped to the shadow, and some local men give us him water, and so cooling down, then he can move to here.
Look, I think now at the moment the heat, looking at 28, 30 degrees, especially your European teams, but anybody. That first leg, that 20 kilometers on the beach, I did think teams went a bit hard there. We're only 26 hours into a race of 100 hours, so we're only a quarter of a race time for the top teams, and for the back teams we're probably not even a tenth into the course. So if you burn yourself out now, that means you went too fast, because there's no ways that you can't physically not make day one if you know that you're anyway going to race 5, 7, 8 days. So they definitely went too hard.
Yeah, our bodies, I think our bodies are good. Our feet are good. We're just a bit overheated a little bit. So we had a bit of a nap, cooled down. Now we'll try and start this big trek. We would love to be able to try and do the paddle tomorrow during the day, but we'll just see how it goes. It's pretty hot at the moment. Fingers crossed.
I mean, obviously you're suffering then, and it's just suffering. You can obviously just change your pace a bit, cool down in every stream, and sort of just take it a bit cool until it's cooler. But if you're obviously in a state that you can't continue now, the only way to recover from that, other than withdrawing, is to take off a day. So if I were in that position and I say I came all the way to South Africa, or the South African team, I've trained for a year. I mean, get yourself, go book into a guest house, take off for a day, because you basically already covered 65 and 180, so you run 250, you've done more than a quarter of the course. And but you're not going to win anyway at this stage if you have a problem. But instead of now getting panicky, get the guest house, book in, and sleep for a day. And you're probably anyway going to catch other team, you're anyway going to miss the dark zone. So that's what I would do. But in that state, most people just call it quits.
So I'm sort of at the back end at this particular moment. Stefan is more going forward and set out the transitions as we have to follow the front of the race, and now we're basically cleaning up the back end. So I'm here more with the people who are just kind of surviving, and they just want to get to the finishing line. And it's quite interesting. You see two kind of people at this particular spot. The ones that are obviously they came here to do well and have a top 20 position. And for those teams, if something goes bad, it's such a big disappointment. And to go through that level of pain and not with a goal in sight to have a good position, it's just, I think, easier to pull out and say, you know what, next time. For us as a race organizer, that's always sad, because you feel like you've created such a beautiful course and then people don't go forward. So I always try to keep people on the course as much as I can, because you would love them to see the rest of it and experience it. But then you get the normal guys who's just so inspirational and just suffering so badly. And I mean, everybody in this hall, the school, you know, outside people that do witness them, you know, you get inspired by them. These are normal guys working full time, basically, have weekend hours, and they are really suffering. And they have then again the mentality of, we came here for a 9-day expedition. If we don't make the cutoff, we'll get short course, and they just go on.
Definitely some of the hardest things I've done, and we've been just chugging along at the back, just kind of finishing. So I don't even want to imagine what it's like to race it. Yeah, I mean, it's just a long way. There were a couple of climbs and so on, but if you do anything for long enough, it's difficult, you know. Yeah, I don't know, you get moeg, you brainstorm. But it's cool. I mean, I would never have enough motivation to put myself in similar situations, and it is worthwhile being in those situations, because there's all sorts of teamwork dynamics and fun stuff that happens that has kind of value for it, and you learn how to work together well, and you like help other teams a little bit, kind of thing. Yeah, it's cool. Like a fun, very unique idea. Like, I've done a lot of multi-sport stuff for mainly triathlons and that kind of thing. And it's very, very different. It's more like survival than anything else.
I do make a point of not actually talking to teams, because what do you ask them? Are you enjoying it? Is it too hard? I mean, what are they going to tell me? But then a day after the finish line, they think it's the best thing than sliced bread. But now, I don't think I'm really the most popular person on the planet. And it is hard. So I do think, it is what it is, huh?
This race, you have to look at yourself most of all, because I think the most important part of the race are so late in the race. So I think you can be a little bit relaxed for the first day or so. Maybe just ride in a group, try to save some energy, because the big legs are going to hurt, and they are really, really late in the race. I think the team goal is always to try to do the perfect race, and as you know, the perfect race never existed. So I think the goal is to try to solve all the difficulties during the way as smooth as possible. Work as a team, help each other, and hopefully be the first one to cross the finish line.
We gotta remove our finger from our nose and start moving, because we don't want to get caught in the dark zone.
We ended up sleeping in some scrub, and there was just a bit of a breeze, and the
Still sort of a wee bit of drizzle kept down through the night, so we got a wee bit damp. It was just a wee bit cold. And none of our gear dried from on the river all the way down.
Nothing really changed the first 5 minutes of the day. Other than that, it's just business as usual. So it's fine. We don't have sleeping bags, so we just have little tinfoil bags, so that's a little bit colder as well, but it's nothing we haven't done heaps of times back home.
Looking forward to seeing what's in here. In fact, I'm going to show you what's in here. Come on, look what my girls did.
This place is mad, there's nothing here. What do people do here? There's like nothing. We just cycled 200k, we saw one town. It's beautiful though. All these crazy little peaks everywhere. Yeah, it's a good place. I feel like I've gone back 100 years. I'm like some frontierman panning for gold or something like that. But yeah, it's good. We found this place, I forgot about that. We had found this place. It was about 10 o'clock, so it's relatively early, but we thought there wasn't much else choice. We saw the lights on in this house and just asked the guy, and he said, oh, there's a building at the back you can go and stay in. We went in and was like it's like a fairly basic lodge, I suppose, but we had single bed each, double bed with it, and then we said we'd sleep for 2 hours. Totally overslept, the alarm didn't go off, and we slept for 4.5. So we were rested, and it was a nice place. The guy was super friendly.
So this is the place to be, baby. This is rocket.
In middle of nowhere, one town, there was a hotel open, and we went to ask some like food, and they served a lamb, and there was one team sleeping at the restaurant, and when we eat, other team arrive, and then one team media guy arrived for accident there. So we have a big party there together. It's really beautiful. We really enjoy here. But only the thing is that navigation is kind of, well, it takes some head to just see that it's 10k straight road, no turns.
Do you have another plan? Because it's only white. As long as you're saying that we're going to Bundibash to get there, that's fine.
I was going to try hit
but
that road.
I'm just, have you looked at the map?
We want to go. We don't want to be on this river. This is the big one going around here. You're right. We've got to go. Fuck, man.
Do you mind? Do you think Calvin could have a turn?
Yeah,
he did really well the other night.
You're right.
Yeah, on the map.
You're right. We've got to be on this side of this.
I feel
no,
like
you're 100% right. Sorry,
the point
my
of
fault.
having 3 navigators is that when we're having an off time, that we can have a break.
100% right. Sorry.
It's fine.
Okay, just hand it over.
Just get rid of the map.
No, cool cycle. Romy rode into a side of the road and bent his wheel. So it's so funny. Gino held Romy's shoulders and jumped on his rim and thought it was straight again. And then we rode here. It's fucked. It's completely fucked. It's broken. The aluminium, you can put your hand in it. Everyone was just falling asleep. It was quite funny. Fell asleep and rode straight into the banister. It was a bit scary.
We're short course, so we're on holidays basically.
Yeah.
So we've been watching some of the other teams go by.
So that people pay money for this, some good money. So we've got like a ringside seat watching the best racers in the world go past with the starry sky. We're a little bit on the hungry end of things, so we might stop in town for breakfast.
We're hoping to get the hotel open.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get it after.
Don't bend down with me on you. Oh, God. Oh, my God. He's a beast. Look at that for class, huh?
Good job, guys. See you later.
Sven, the reality is you can't go where we went alone.
Yeah.
It's just too wild. You can't do it alone. It'll be irresponsible. We had to make 2 major calls this race because luckily we experienced on safety. And the one call was with that storm, we came off the mountain, we were hypothermic. We had Bubbles and them with us that asked us to take them through as well. She was sick. So we stayed at some farmhouse in a basement area, and we actually said, okay, we'll time it to get into the next mountain section in daylight because it would have been irresponsible to go there. Yesterday we came off the mountain, we came off that hike. Both myself and Tat had heat stroke sort of thing. It was like 40 degrees. I was shivering, and she was as well. And we knocked at a farmhouse, and this old lady, 80, how old is she?
83.
83 years old, asked for water. Eventually I bribed, we got a bed, and we got a boerewors supper, whatever, and before tackling that big climb. So it's been a race where you can't treat, look, we don't race. We want to finish the challenge, but it's something that you can't just treat as from point A to point B. You have to make conscious decisions to look after each other and for the whole race organization, because there's a lot of trust that's put into races that do these things. You've got to make the call, and Stefan said that. You know, you must decide when it's safe or when it's not safe to go. So it's a massive responsibility on you as a team to do the right thing. And whether it's sleeping for 8 hours because of a storm, that's what you got to do. So it's really been a proper race, a proper test to see the true spirit of adventure racing.
Well, that what Seppi has just told you is the most lucid thing he's said in the last 24 hours. I don't know where he managed to scrape that up from.
It's been out of this world. We started last week Thursday. We have not had much contact with normal people. So it's nice to finally get to meet normal people. Just had roasted cookies somewhere there. And then we're happy to be back in civilization. We left with just a few kilometers before the finish. But there was a time where I questioned my decision. It was hard. It was especially the leg 3. We trekked in the rain, in the storm for almost 90 kilometers. That was hard. When I got to the transition point, I couldn't walk properly. I had to patch up my feet. But we signed up for it. I normally say you don't join adventure race, you get chosen. Wait for someone to choose you, because if you join, you're gonna have a lot of challenges because you won't be ready for it.
Many things you can do. Now, why will 4 people want to do this? So I always say that everybody is here, including the medical team, the rope work team, the volunteers, the drivers, whatever. Everybody can have a moment. Not the whole time. You'll definitely, all those volunteers, all the athletes, sometimes they'll think, no, I shouldn't be here. This is not worth its while. But somewhere you can have that moment. It might be on top of the mountain with a sunrise. It might be, sometimes we help your teammates. It might be at the finish line. It might be in many places, but you'll have that moment. And if you have that moment, you won't know it's the moment. But that moment is the reason why you're here. And you got 10 days to find that moment. So you got plenty of time to find the moment. But you can have that moment.
Before we crossed the Karoo and we were walking through that mountain range with no torches on, just the moonlight going through. And then the other thing that sticks out is we broke our boat in the paddle, and we actually had to fix it. We melted down sporks and glued the holes shut with duct tape and made a bushfire. Got through it, so that felt like a bit of a make a plan situation.
There's no feeling to actually describe this. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I'm having an American team. It's 3 Americans and myself. I'm from Joburg. We're having fun. We're checking. We're having fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in our own little adventure racing bubble, really, aren't we? Had a good time and seen lots of different.
They say it's great for mental health. Just, supposed to spend a few hours. It really improves your mental health.
I don't know what it does when you race for 5, 6, 7 days straight. I'm not sure about the mental health. I've got to get checked out. But I think all the awe experiences in nature, that's what does it for me.
Awesome.
That's the.
You've had some pretty cool sunrises.
Yeah. Well, magical moments all through the race. So they're the things that set you up for a balanced mind in life.
I've never had more temperature extremes in a race in my life, and the combination of that and just how beautiful and remote the areas we've gone has been awesome. We got caught in CP36 in 100-kilometer winds and howling sheets of rain, maybe 5 degrees. That was right on the edge. That was as hard as we've pushed ourselves in races. It's pretty cool.
The heart and soul of adventure racing around the world is normally a one individual who truly loves it, maybe a couple. There are a lot of couples around the world, and going through the highs and lows in their journey of organizing races.
We've been having a good time. We're here from Expedition Canada and checking things out, keeping an eye on some of the Canadian teams. And yeah, these are some strong racers out there. We're cheering everybody on and can't believe how hard this race course is so far for them.
We are blessed. I mean, if you've seen our volunteers and our partners who's going the extra mile and what people do for us, I think it's a natural thing that happens. I can't pinpoint it why. Maybe it's also respect, and if you lead by an example. It's not that we're standing on the side and say, oh, pack the bike boxes. You will see myself and Stefan packing and unloading and setting up everything ourselves. That's just the way we are. And when that happens, your team who's with you start doing exactly what you do. And that's where you make the shift. So people come back every year to support you. They see it as their breakaway, as their bubble, where they maybe can also escape their lives.
It's hard for us to walk away because we like what we're doing and just making sure everyone's getting taken care of. So we sometimes work more than we maybe strictly have to, but yeah, 2 or 3 hours most nights.
What's the average weight in a box and a bike bag?
They're supposed to be 25 kilos max. So they seem a little heavier now for some reason, but that's supposed to be where they're at.
And you guys are lifting how many boxes a day?
100, yeah. Hundreds, especially when you have to do several moves in one day. It's a lot, especially when you're stacking the bike boxes 3 high and the big truck back there. So.
There are only 2 at this transition, but that's not the only transition we handled now.
Perfect, so you'll jump to another transition?
To another, yes.
Where do you go from here?
To Oyster Bay, the T9, the very last
the last
one. Yeah, there we will be 6 days.
When I met Heidi, our kids are in school together here in Kouga, so I met her on the side of a rugby field and she started telling me about this amazing event that you guys are running out now. And yeah, we introduced her to the ladies and the gentlemen at Distance South Africa Marketing, and we started talking about this great event. And Distance South Africa ended up providing them with 4x4 Profix Navaras for the event. So these vehicles will be driving around the media and the logistics teams for the event.
For us, it's just being outside, and David Palmer, our CEO of our company, he's also involved in the sport, and he also did the race, and I think that's where the love started for the brand. That's what it's all about. Believing in getting people in the outdoors is an absolute key factor for the Merrell brand.
now?
We are good friends and we have been racing a long time, so I don't know if there is one thing to say. You must fit in and you must be like open to solve any problems and try to push your own ego down and kind of think of the team. It's like always said that have to think of the team, but your own skin is closest to you, and when you are tired, it's very hard to like offer some help to another person. But in this sport, you have to do it to succeed. This is about adventure racing, that you have to move as a unit and alone. I think making the finish line would be much harder, maybe impossible.
It's just a case of hanging in there, right? Fighting the heat and the undulations, going up, going down, getting pretty chuffed about being at the top, and then you see the road go down again. Your heart drops.
Okay guys, I want to say everything to all the children around there. When I was in your age, I one day decided to be a world champ. And see here today, I'm a world champ! And that means all of you, if you decided something with your heart, all of you can also be a world champ, I promise you. Cheers!